In August 1942, German officers peered through field glasses at the towering icy mountain that rose majestically before them. They were surveying Mount Elbrus at 18,510 feet or 5,642 meters, Europe's highest mountain, located in southern Russia. The officers knew mountains, for they were Gebirgsjäger, crack German mountain troops, and the towering Elbrus seemed to call to them. "Climb me," it said. And now a word from our sponsor, The Ridge. Tired of your old wallet? Is it bulky and uncomfortable to carry? The Ridge helps you carry less, but always what you need. Their wallets are sleek, 2 metal plates bound together by a durable elastic band, making them look nothing like your ugly old leather bifold. Titanium, carbon fiber, and aluminium options ensure there's an option for everyone. With 30,000 5-star reviews, it's a wallet I use. With a lifetime warranty and free returns if you don't like it, there are over a dozen different styles and colors to choose from. Get 10% off today with free worldwide shipping and returns by visiting ridge.com/mark. That's ridge.com/mark and use the code MARK. See the link in the description box below. The 1st and 4th Mountain Divisions were part of Hitler's great offensive into southern Russia, forced by the failure to capture Moscow in the winter of 1941. Hitler needed as much oil as he could find to keep his many armies in the field, and the Caucasus was an obvious target with its many wells, and beyond on the Caspian Sea, further south, even more oil at Baku in Azerbaijan. Therefore, German efforts in the Soviet Union had been refocused in the spring and summer of 1942 to capture the oil. The barrier to this advance was the Caucasus Mountains, Europe's tallest range that stretched for 750 miles, studded with many peaks over 15,000 feet. Most of the range was in Georgia, but Mount Elbrus, the tallest, was located in southern Russia. When the men of the 1st and 4th Mountain Divisions clapped eyes on Elbrus, they were transfixed. Though their orders were explicit, get through the Caucasus and reach the Black Sea, the mountain seemed to be theirs for the taking. Both of the mountain divisions were being closely monitored at Führer headquarters. Hitler repeatedly demanded that they strike through the Caucasus to capture the Black Sea port of Sukhumi as quickly as possible. The 17th Army was about to take the other ports of Novorossiysk and Tuapse, which would cripple the Soviet Black Sea fleet that was ferrying troops and supplies across the Kerch Straits. Compared to the Swiss Alps and the Austrian Tyrol, Mount Elbrus eclipsed all of the peaks, standing 2,736 feet or 832 meters taller than Western Europe's highest mountain, Mont Blanc. The temptation was too much for the German mountain troops, who realized the propaganda value of conquering Elbrus in the name of the Third Reich. It wasn't the first time Gebirgsjäger had performed for the public back home. The commanding officer of the 1st Mountain Division, General Hubert Lanz, was the driving force behind ascending Mount Elbrus. In 1941, his men had planted the Nazi battle flag atop Greece's highest point, Mount Olympus. A 23-man team was quickly selected from both divisions for the summit attempt. They would not, of course, be the first up Mount Elbrus. The first ascent of the western summit, the higher peak, was made by an English expedition in 1874. The Soviets encouraged climbing, and Europe's highest hotel was built on the mountain in 1939. This famous hotel, known as Shelter 11, along with a nearby observatory, was captured by German mountain troops on the 17th of August 1942, without meeting any resistance. The Germans now turned their attention to the summit. Following the capture of Shelter 11 at an altitude of 13,500 feet, or just over 4,000 meters, the German mountain leader proceeded with the summit attempt, but unfavorable weather conditions halted the operation until the 21st of August. Captain Groth was General Lanz's orderly officer, and Lanz ordered him to set up a company of the division's most experienced climbers. A few experienced men were also selected from the 4th Mountain Division for the attempt. But the weather closed in, and with no route maps to the summit, Captain Groth twice started off but broke off the attempt in the face of extremely bad weather. But eventually Groth's men managed to plant the German battle flag atop what they thought was the summit of the mountain. No opposition was encountered, and the Germans came back down. But there was a big problem. No one had photographed or filmed the great event. General Lanz ordered Groth's unit to repeat the stunt on the 23rd of August 1942. Up they went again. On arrival, they discovered that in the previous terrible weather, they had erected the flag in the wrong place, in front of the peak and not on it. Lieutenant Hubert, Leupold, and 8 men corrected the mistake, and photographs were duly taken. But all this was not acceptable for Dr. Goebbels' propaganda ministry, which needed film of the event to show to the German public. An experienced climber and army cameraman named Hans Ertl was dispatched to Groth's unit to record the event. So, in brilliant sunshine, on the 7th of September 1942, the Gebirgsjäger conquered the summit of Mount Elbrus for the 3rd time, all carefully filmed by Ertl. They once again made a show of erecting the German army battle flag, and also the standards of both mountain divisions. However, the propaganda stunt backfired spectacularly when Hitler was informed of this latest example of German superiority. Hitler exploded when informed that the Gebirgsjäger had scaled Mount Elbrus but not yet captured the Black Sea port. According to Albert Speer, Hitler raged for several hours, calling the mountain troops those crazy mountain climbers who belong before a court-martial. In reality, logistical problems, not the ascent of Mount Elbrus, prevented the mountain divisions from taking the Black Sea ports. The mountains soon became a battleground. The Soviets tried on several occasions to recapture the hotel Shelter 11. But well-dug-in German mountain troops managed to fight them off. A special detachment of 100 troops from the Soviet secret police, the NKVD, was founded to recapture Shelter 11. Commanded by a former hairdresser, the detachment surprised the German troops guarding the hotel and the observatory, but being outnumbered, outgunned and outmaneuvered, the Soviets were thrown back down the mountain. Only 4 Soviet soldiers made it back alive. But by January 1943, with German forces defeated at Stalingrad, the German forces in the Caucasus were forced to pull back to avoid encirclement, and on the 10th to 11th of January, the mountain troops abandoned Mount Elbrus. On the 9th of February 1943, 20 Red Army soldiers reoccupied Shelter 11, which had been damaged in the fighting. Soviet forces also reclaimed the mountain's summit in the name of the USSR. As for the German climbing leader, Heinz Groth was promoted to major and later received the Knight's Cross and survived the war to write about his experiences. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share, and also hit the bell icon to receive notifications of my latest videos. You can also support my channel through PayPal and Patreon. Details in the description box below.